So now with Terminator Dark Fate bombing, and the Terminator franchise once again finding itself dead, the director of that film, Tim Miller, opens up on what exactly caused him to leave the Deadpool franchise behind. And as we stated here, when he announced he wasn't returning, it was obviously conflicts, not that he had a scheduling problem, but now he lets it out of the bag on what exactly it was. When Fox was looking to do Deadpool initially, they were going really cheap. As many of you know, they were like, you guys got $60 million to make this film. We're not really going to advertise it much. It's going to be a bomb. Go do that while we make these other X-Men movies. And then they hired Tim Miller, who was hired to do it on the cheap side, who was hired to cut corners. Right as they started production on the first day, Fox walked in and said, we're taking $10 million away because you're not even going to make that much from the box office. But Tim Miller came up with some creative ideas for how to treat the film, how to move forward with that, and to me personally, that made the film much stronger. Then of course it went on and became a box office sensation, so a sequel was greenlit, and quickly we found out that Tim Miller was not going to be doing it. At the time, he was like, yeah, it's just scheduling conflicts, I can't do it, which was obviously BS considering he wasn't doing anything else, but okay. And Ryan Reynolds got put in control of Deadpool 2, and he had a way more say in every aspect of it. Now, here's what Tim Miller said in regards to why he left. As always, you guys can find that article down below and also up here on the screen. And he says, it became clear that Ryan wanted to be in the control of the franchise. You can work that way as a director, quite successfully, but I can't. I don't mind having a debate, but if I can't win, I don't want to play. And I don't think you can negotiate every creative decision. There's too many to make. So Ryan's the face of the franchise, and he was the most important component of that by far. So if he decided he wanted to control it, then he's going to control it. I've always been pretty good at the moving on thing. I care deeply, and then you get to the point where you gotta make the decision. And I'm pretty good about putting it in my rearview mirror. We had a meeting at Fox, and the writing was on the wall. So I said, I get it, I'll quit, and you guys can do whatever you need to. So like I said, from day one, it was very clear what happened. I talked about it here on the channel. For people that might be new, I'm not a big fan of Deadpool 2. I like it just fine, but I thought it had too much of the Ryan Reynolds influence. It's one of these things where the actor should never have full control of everything that's happening because he is the actor. You let the other people have say as well. This has happened multiple times in big comic book movies where they get out of hand and things just start to fall apart. So I think you can kind of see that with Deadpool 2, with the retread of some of the jokes and how they treat pretty much everything as a joke. The rest of the first movie played around with it and was a little bit more serious, which honestly is what I liked more because it was closer to the X-Force version of Deadpool, which I really like. And as Miller says, you know, he saw the writing was on the wall. They wanted Ryan in control of everything. He wanted everything in control because he's the actor and he's the one that's the star and face of the franchise, so it ended up going to him. And Miller also did recently add that he doesn't think he'll ever be back working on a comic book movie, specifically for Marvel, which obviously makes sense considering that they're probably not going to look at him for anything the MCU is developing. I wouldn't mind it if they brought him back for Deadpool 3, but that's probably not going to happen.